Every night, as we lay our heads down, there's an unseen realm that awakens, one where battles are fought not with fists, but with faith, identity, and authority. Tonight, we unlock a powerful declaration that dismantles every dark force set against your destiny. Get ready to reclaim your spiritual territory. Every battle begins with a question, who are you? The unseen world doesn't respond to how loud you shout, how long you pray, or how many people agree with you. It responds to identity. Your spiritual authority is tied not to emotion, but to recognition. When you don't know who you are, you start reacting to lies instead of living out truth. That's why curses stick. They find a soul with no resistance, no ownership, no clarity. You weren't designed to live under fear, confusion, or manipulation. You were formed with purpose, crowned with dominion, and authorized to speak to storms, not run from them. But if you don't believe it, if you don't walk in it, then you hand over the keys, your power, your peace, your protection, to voices that were never meant to rule your life. When you lie down at night, darkness doesn't ask for permission. It checks for access. And access is granted when your identity is unsecured. That's why declaring who you are out loud is not a ritual, it's a reclaiming. You're not begging for protection, you're enforcing it. You're not trying to escape attack, you're standing in authority that cannot be overthrown unless you forfeit it. Don't sleep another night unsure of who you are. Speak it. Declare it. Own it. Because when you walk in the clarity of your identity, curses collapse and fear flees. You stop negotiating with shadows and start commanding with light. But identity alone isn't enough, because even kings must speak. And in the next moment, I'll show you why what you say right before you sleep can shift atmospheres and shake the unseen. Are you ready to find out how? If identity is the foundation, then words are the weapon. You can know who you are, but until you speak it, nothing moves. Power isn't just in what you carry. It's in what you release. Every time you open your mouth, you are sending a signal into the spirit realm, declaring who has jurisdiction over your life. Are your words enforcing authority or opening the door to attack? What you say before you sleep is critical, because the night isn't neutral. It listens, it responds. And when your words are passive, fearful, or silent, darkness takes territory. But when your voice aligns with truth, when you declare your authority with confidence, the very air shifts, resistance breaks, interference stops. Words aren't noise, they are legislation. You are not begging, you are declaring. Not hoping, you are commanding. Not asking, you are enforcing what has already been given to you. That's why, before you close your eyes at night, your voice must go ahead of you. Your atmosphere must be set. Your boundaries must be spoken. Your spirit must be positioned for rest, not warfare. Say it loud. Say it with clarity. Say it like someone who knows the weight of their voice. Because when you declare with authority, curses lose their grip, confusion breaks its cycle, and fear has no resting place. But let me tell you something. It's not enough to just speak. You must know what to speak. Because there is a key that unlocks immunity, a strategy that makes your declarations unshakable. And in the next moment, I'll show you how to break chains before they even form. Ready? Let me ask you something. What if you could stop the attack before it even starts? What if there is a way to walk in such authority, such alignment, that no curse could find a place to land? That's not just possible, it's your right. You were never meant to just survive warfare. You were designed to carry divine immunity. Every curse needs a landing strip. Bitterness, fear, doubt, disobedience, confusion. These are the runways darkness looks for. But when your spirit is aligned, your words are in order, and your authority is active, those curses crash before they even take flight. Immunity isn't protection by accident, it's protection by position. So before you close your eyes tonight, ask yourself, am I covered by clarity, or am I vulnerable through compromise? You don't need 100 words, you need the right ones. You don't need to feel powerful, you need to stand in power. That's how chains break before they ever get forged. That's how arrows miss, because your atmosphere is already shielded. Say it with conviction. No fear lives here. No confusion can enter. No manipulation has a seat at my table. I am sealed, secured, and set apart. That is not just noise. It is a spiritual firewall, and it can't be hacked. But here's the catch. Immunity only works if your mindset matches it. Because even when the curses are broken, the battle isn't over. Unless your thoughts are renewed. And in just a moment, I'm going to expose how your own thinking might be the doorway the enemy is using and how to shut it for good. Are you ready to confront it? Let me tell you this. Witchcraft doesn't start with candles and chants. It starts with control. It starts with manipulation, intimidation, and deception. It starts in the mind. That's why the real battlefield isn't around you, it's inside you. If the enemy can control your thinking, he doesn't need to curse you. You'll curse yourself. But when your mind is aligned with purpose, when your thoughts are ruled by truth, clarity, and discipline, no manipulation can work. The witchcraft loses its grip. You don't respond to fear. Because you're rooted in identity, you don't fall for lies because you're grounded in authority. You don't panic in the dark because you've already claimed the light. See, a kingdom mindset isn't just positive thinking, it's strategic living. It's when your thoughts match your words match your spirit, and your spirit is fully submitted to truth. That's when manipulation breaks. That's when confusion scatters. That's when you walk into a room and darkness has to shift. Not because of how loud you are, but because of how clear you are. Before you sleep tonight, silence every lie. Uproot every thought that says you're weak, broken, forgotten, or vulnerable. Declare it boldly. I have the mind of a ruler. My thoughts are guarded. My peace is protected. My mind is not a playground. It's a fortress. Because when your mindset is strong, your atmosphere follows. And when your atmosphere shifts, everything connected to you shifts. But don't stop here, because there's one more piece. You've secured your mind. You've claimed your space. Now it's time to build your watchtower. And next, I'll show you why what happens while you sleep is just as important as what you declare before it. Stay with me. Have you ever wondered why the attacks feel stronger at night? Why the anxiety creeps in, the heaviness lingers, and the dreams feel more like battles than rest? It's because the night isn't just for sleeping, it's a strategic window. And if you're not watching, something else is moving. Every kingdom has watchmen. Why? Because threats don't knock, they sneak. And while the body rests, the spirit must remain alert. That's why your night routine isn't just physical, it's spiritual preparation. What you declare before you sleep isn't just for peace, it's for protection. You must establish your night watch. Before your head touches that pillow, you are setting the terms for the night. You're not going to bed hoping for peace. You're commanding it. You're not sleeping defenseless. You're activating your spiritual perimeter. Declare it with boldness. No disturbance, no invasion, no interference. My sleep is guarded. My dreams are guided. My rest is righteous. You're not just asking for quiet. You're building a watchtower, and that tower doesn't sleep, doesn't blink, doesn't back down. Because here's the truth. If you don't set the watch, the enemy will set the tone. And what enters while you sleep can shape what you believe when you wake, but not on your watch. Not tonight, not ever again. Now you've taken your stand. You've claimed your territory. But words alone don't win wars. Next, I'll show you how to activate your authority in real time so that when resistance rises, you don't panic, you respond. Let's keep going. Let me say this clearly. Authority isn't just what you have, it's what you use. You can carry all the power in the world, but if you don't activate it, it sits there, unused, untouched, unchallenged. And the enemy loves a silent warrior, someone full of potential but void of declaration. When resistance comes, and it will, how do you respond? Do you retreat? Do you react? Or do you rise? Authority isn't loud, but it's firm. It doesn't panic, but it doesn't back down. Authority doesn't need to prove, it enforces. It doesn't explain, it commands. When you open your mouth, you're not just talking, you're shifting atmospheres. You're calling things into order. You're silencing interference. You're reestablishing dominion that cannot be debated. That's why you don't just speak from fear, you speak from position. Tonight, speak like someone who knows the weight of their words. Say it. I carry authority. My voice is law in my space. I don't plead, I proclaim. I don't fear, I enforce. You're not just echoing hope. You're establishing law in the unseen realm. And here's what happens when you do. Confusion flees. Darkness lifts. Disruption dies. Because authority isn't based on volume, it's based on recognition. When the atmosphere recognizes your voice, it aligns. When resistance hears you speak, it submits. But don't stop there, because authority is only effective when you understand the war you're in. And coming up next, I'm going to reveal how the real battle isn't always visible, but it's always real. Are you ready to see what's really going on behind the scenes? Let's uncover it together. Let me wake you up to this. Not every storm in your life is natural. Not every delay, every distraction, every disturbance is random. You're not just dealing with bad luck or bad timing. You're dealing with an invisible war. And the most dangerous battles, the ones you never realize you're in. This is not about fear, it's about awareness. Because when you know what you're really fighting, you stop wasting energy on the wrong enemies. The true fight is not in the flesh, it's in the spirit. That tension you feel, that heaviness at night, that sudden shift that makes no sense, you're not imagining it. You're sensing it. But here's the key. Awareness gives you the edge. When you recognize the pattern, you can disrupt the attack. When you discern the strategy, you can cancel the assignment. This is more than emotion. It's discernment in action. Before you sleep tonight, take spiritual inventory. What's been trying to drain you? What keeps circling back, trying to pull you down? What's been whispering defeat? Even after you've declared victory. That's not coincidence. That's warfare. Declare it now. Every unseen plan is exposed. Every hidden force is confronted. Every assignment against me is canceled. Speak it. Mean it. Enforce it. You're not fighting to win, you're fighting from victory. The only way you lose is if you don't show up. But now that you're aware, now that you're active, it's time to step into your final move. You fought the fight, you've made the stand. Now it's time to take your seat. And in this last moment, I'll show you how to walk not just in freedom, but in legal authority that cannot be broken. Are you ready to enforce your rights? You don't need to beg for freedom when you've been given the legal right to walk in it. You don't need to fight for approval when the authority is already in your name. See, this isn't about emotion, hype, or noise. It's about legal standing in the spirit realm. And when you know your rights, you stop asking and start enforcing. Too many are living like victims when they've already been declared victors. You've been authorized to break cycles, dismantle curses, silence the voices of manipulation and fear. But here's the truth. Authority without enforcement is surrender. And silence is not humility, it's forfeiture. Tonight, don't just pray, legislate. Don't just whisper, decree. Say it with boldness. I have the legal right to be free. I have the legal right to be whole. I have the legal right to walk in peace, power, and protection. That's not arrogance. It's alignment. You're not trespassing on enemy ground. The enemy is trespassing on yours. And when you enforce the law, the illegal occupants must go. No negotiation, no compromise, no delay. Now hear me. This is not just another speech. This is a transfer, a moment, a divine shift where your posture changes. No longer reactive, but proactive. No longer begging for what's already yours, but walking in it. You have the identity. You've spoken the word. You've set the guard. Now, take your place. The atmosphere has shifted. Your authority has been activated. Tonight, sleep in peace because the war is already won.